We think that it ought to be, I put in 10 hours of effort, I should get 100 units of reward.
Yeah.
And it doesn't equate like that.
You know, that saying, people are expecting results for the work they haven't done. And I think that there's a lot of truth that comes through that.
Oh, they were an overnight success. But you didn't hear the 10,000 hours that they put in.
You're physically around, but mentally nowhere close to where I'm at.
You can grow old and never mature. You can be wise and young, and you can be old, wise, and mature all at the same time.
If there's things that we can do to add hope, add encouragement to the community, that's our biggest thing, I think, that we've really felt the tug and the calling for.
You can pull up Instagram or Facebook, TikTok, or LinkedIn even. Oh my gosh, look at their resume. It looks absolutely amazing.
And who is it that you know that they need to know? If we walk through life with that mindset, things would look differently. Too busy knocking opportunity.
That they don't hear opportunity knocking.
Well, welcome back to another episode of Crazy, Unbelievable Faith. I am your co-host, Brian Owen, alongside my wife, Kirsha.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Fall is in the air, and
someone looks like he
yep, I'm
is
willing.
straight up out of a cowboy magazine.
I have been, I wouldn't say cowboy magazine, but I have been willing this in. We got a taste of it, and now it's finally here. Nice, cool mornings. It's amazing. I love it. I love fall.
Y'all, he put on his cowboy boots this morning.
Yeah.
And the only thing he was missing was his cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Which he says, I didn't let him buy one last week when we were in Nashville.
Yeah, she didn't get me that when I was in Nashville. It's okay. It's
what,
right.
at Lucchese?
Yeah.
That was $1,000?
I don't need a Lucchese hat. But Stetson, it's fine. I'm not going to.
Okay. Y'all, let's just be real a minute.
Jason Aldean has a hat too out there.
Yes. But let's just be real a minute. Did this man put on a cowboy hat all week? No.
Yeah, I could wear a John Deere hat and be just fine. So it's fine. Or a camo hat. I mean, it's hunting season. So, yeah. So it's
all on you.
It is. It's that time of year. So I love fall. That is my personal favorite time of the year, for sure. So, not so much for her because she knows the cold is on the way.
I love summer.
That's right. That's right. So, but I want to welcome you all. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not already an active member of our community, please do so by subscribing and following this. We would love to have you added into that fold. We have a lot of people that are requesting prayers along the way. You can do that at our website and just again.
It will come directly to us on that website. It does not get posted to anybody else. Yeah. It comes straight to our email.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's again, if there's things that we can do to add hope, add encouragement to the community, that's our biggest thing, I think, that we've really felt the tug and the calling for with this podcast. So thank you for being part of the community. But let's kind of kick off today.
Well, real quick, I wanted to say we've got some exciting things coming here at Crazy Unbelievable Faith. And I just want you guys just to stay tuned. We will release information as it is fully developed.
Some pretty cool stuff on the horizon.
Yeah.
I love Chris. Chris Decker. Shout out to Chris Decker. Great thought partner along the way. I would say. We had a great conversation with him today. So, yeah. Some amazing things on the horizon. Okay, so are we getting into today's episode?
Yep. Let's do it, cowboy.
Blind to the blessing.
So this is going to be part 1. So we're going to talk about why people can be blind to a blessing and what blinders do they need to take off? Yeah.
Well, and I think it's, the glasses that I have on too, it's perspective to people as well. She always says, hey, don't have your glasses on. And then I can't read the paper if I don't have my glasses on. So it's all about perspective, for sure. And I think that's just a reminder. And these are just some things that have come to mind to us. There's lots of areas that sometimes people maybe have blinders on, and can't see things. There's always that saying of people are, how does it go again? People are too busy knocking opportunity.
That they don't hear opportunity knocking.
There you go. And I think that could manifest itself in many ways.
Well,
through distractions.
And honestly, these are 3 areas in which we have found ourselves being blind to a blessing. And so this is full on vulnerability, authenticity in today's episode. And then in the sequel, we're going to go through ways in which we got ourselves back on track.
Yeah.
Because I think that that's important too.
Yeah. So the 3 areas, I'll go ahead and give those for those that are the total type A people, unlike myself, the type A people that need to hear those 3 things. The 3 are distractions that we came up with, distractions, busyness versus being busy. And the 3rd is comparison. Again, there are many others out there, but those are the 3 that came to mind to us. And again, being transparent with that. The distraction piece, I'll just kick that right off. Even earlier this week, I came to Kirsten and I'm like, I just don't feel right. Something's off. And first of the week. And it was, we had traveled last week, kind of got out of our routine. And I got up early Tuesday morning and went to the gym, had my devotional time. And that's just for me, it works. Mm-hmm. But the last week to 10 days, being out of that routine kind of derailed us a little bit, distracted me. And sometimes it was God was getting leftovers instead of the first fruits. And man, when I went Tuesday morning, had that time, was able to just, for me, it's just a stress release. Being at the gym too. Not that it's stressful living with you by any means, but but just having that outlet for myself. But also taking that time, getting back into the Word, listening to God, and taking that time to listen to God, I think was key. And it totally set my day differently on into the middle part of this week. And again, just keeping that cycle, but sometimes getting distracted from that, and it is God gets the leftovers. I don't know if you have anything to shed around that.
Ways in which I can get easily distracted, just in the course of our life, is I could have a really great thought, and a kid come and just, Mom, I need you. And so that thought gets left in that point in time, and it doesn't come back to me for a while. I am notorious for texting people a response and not hitting the send button because I got distracted and I wasn't able to finish my thought. So sometimes I purposely don't hit the send button, but other times I just don't hit the send button at all, and I don't even go back to it until it's like 4 days later, and I'm like, I didn't respond to them because they didn't respond back to me. So I go back and I was a horrible friend. I'm so sorry.
The mom. I'm thinking of the card Faith brought to you the day that she dug up somewhere, of like all the things to ask Mom. And then
what do you ask Mom?
And what do you ask Mom? And it's all these things. What's for dinner? Where are we going? What do we,
What time do we need to leave?
Yeah. What clothes do I wear?
What's the weather like outside?
Yeah. And then it's like questions for Dad. Where's Mom? And totally true. So that's totally fine. But yes, the distractions can happen. I think, but also getting back on track through those distractions. Mm-hmm. Maybe you do miss, if you're a morning devotional person or an afternoon or an evening before bed, if you miss one of those, I'm guilty of this in the past, of you beat yourself up thinking, okay, I messed up and tomorrow's going to be a new day, but you still kind of drag yesterday into the new day.
Nope, I don't do that.
Yeah,
Just him.
She's never done that, so that's fine. So for those of you that want to be authentic and honest on here, some of us have done that before, but I think just giving yourself grace, and just carving out that time during the day, be it, hey, if I missed it, just try to find that time. I was actually had a conversation with our pastor, and that came up of just stepping back and hitting, kind of like a reset or a pause, and finding that time just to be quiet and still and listen to God, or listen for God.
Y'all, not only does he want the easy button, he also wants the pause button.
And pause. No, that's, click.
It didn't work.
We need click off of Jim Carrey's movie. It's fine.
Yep.
So, distractions. How about busyness versus being truly busy?
Okay, this is how I would define the two of them. To give you a separation, busyness is doing things that keep you spinning your wheels. Okay? Mm-hmm. It's not growth, it's not visionary, it's not moving the bus forward. That could be sitting and just scrolling on your phone, on social media. Being physically present, but not mentally or emotionally present. And then busy could be that you have something lined out in every single hour that you're awake, that is moving you forward, but you're not time blocking. Like if you're going to time block your whole life, great for you to do that. Do not misunderstand me. But you also should time block God on the front end and on the back end and let him be your bookends for the day. God, give me the wisdom and the discernment to get me through the day. God, thank you so much for everything that you granted me today. Type of an example. And so those are two ways in which we can stay blind to the blessing, is because we're too busy in a busyness of just staying active but not really moving ourselves forward, or our schedule is so jam-packed that we don't even give time to God, and God gets the leftovers instead of the first fruits and the last fruits of the day. You just give him whatever you have left over, if anything. And so that's really important.
The scraps of the day. Something like that. Whatever, just keep in mind.
I'm going to just start calling you Scrappy Cowboy.
But I think as you were talking, it made me think of even the conversation with Chris today, and just the encouragement you gave through a statement a week or so ago, but being able to pause or just step back and ask the Holy Spirit, give me the guidance, give me the words I need to say or not say. Holy Spirit, speak through me, speak to me. I think just taking time instead of, again, their day being so busy, they don't have time or making the space for that. I also think with the busyness versus being busy is being present. Where there are a lot of people that are so busy in their jobs, and I've worked remote jobs, in my career, and you're physically around, but mentally nowhere close to where I'm at, because I'm thinking about my job or the things that I have to do or what's on the horizon, and I may be physically in proximity of people, and Kirsten may be talking to me, saying something, and I'll have no clue. And it took us a while where she had to physically come and put a hand on me or somehow get my attention. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was because I would say, and I still catch myself to this day. She'll be saying something to me, and I'm like, yep, yep. And she'll leave, and I'll finish up what I was doing, and then it's like, what did she ask me to do?
Well, and then he calls me.
Then I call her, or I text her. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, what did you say?
I don't text her because she would not send it back to me. Apparently, I'm learning this even more so that's alarming.
Isn't it amazing? So, we could podcast and learn more about each other?
It's great. It's great. What do we do without this podcast, for sure? So, and then the last piece, or anything else around busyness versus being busy?
No.
Just nothing else popped into my mind. So, around comparison, though, this is kind of a pretty heavy one. Do you have any thoughts on comparison?
Oh,
or do you mean to take that first?
There's so many ways in which we live in a constant state of comparison in our face. And what I mean by that is you could pull up Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever, LinkedIn even. Oh my gosh, look at their resume. It looks absolutely amazing. Mine could never look like that. Or look at their fancy new car they just got. Look, they must be killing it in life. Or, oh my gosh, their children are so successful. Look, they've graduated with their doctoral degree. And we just are like, okay, will I measure up to that? Will I measure up to that? Will my children measure to be that? Look at everything going well in their life. And so this is definitely an area in which I had to retrain my brain on how to be happy for other people and still content with me and where I was in my journey. Yeah. But we have a list of a few things. Yeah. Okay, time versus wisdom is one of the things in which we can get caught in comparison.
Well, expecting time and wisdom to go together. It doesn't always work that way, unfortunately.
No. Age and wisdom go alone.
Absolutely.
They can, not always.
Yeah.
Age, wisdom, and maturity can go alone too.
Yeah.
You can grow old and never mature.
Yeah.
You can be wise and young, and you can be old, wise, and mature all at the same time. They all go independently. It depends on if you're personally growing yourself, you're having reflection, a retrospect of how could you do that better, all of those things. We also have effort and reward. Those don't always go together either. And the reason why we kind of pick these as ones to put underneath a comparison is we look at what other people have and we think, oh, they were an overnight success. But you didn't hear the 10,000 hours that they put in. Or what?
Keep going. No, keep going.
Didn't see that. Or
stealing my thunder. That's all she's doing. That's fine.
Expecting instant gratification, instant results off of very little effort.
Well, I think that there's times, going back to the comparison or well, gosh, I want that. They have that. It is a natural human tendency in that competitive drive for people of, well, I want to be there or I want to be ahead of them. We see that in our own kids. A couple of our kids, man, if they're not first, they're pouting their head off, that's for sure.
Y'all, it's not just our kids. Our dog is like that too.
Well, that's true. Must be, maybe it's just in the water. We'll go with that. It's the water.
Or it's the Owen last name.
But I think, again, there's times I can distinctly remember back, it's, people are successful around us and you want to be, you're doing kind of the golf clap for them because it's like, yeah, I'm excited, but it's also revealing pieces or lack of pieces that we haven't done internally. And I think it's, that saying, people are expecting results for the work they haven't done. And I think that there's a lot of truth that comes through that it's like, well, I just want to be there. And you mentioned the 10,000 hours or the 10 years or the 15, 20 years that somebody put into something and built it from nothing to what it is today. And people are like, gosh, they're just so lucky. Or they've accomplished so much. And man, they had to have done something. No, they just worked hard.
Or they prayed and God guided them and God gave them that talent or that work or that call on their life to go and fulfill that. And in heaven, we're all going to come from different walks of life with different experiences, and we're not classified by that. In heaven, we're all just giving glory to God. And it doesn't, we all work together for the glory of God here on earth. And I just think that that's really important that we all take a step back and we remember, okay, this is what God called me to do. This is my call on my life. This is where I'm at in my placement. And give that glory back to him and thank him for the call on your life.
Well, I think
gratitude is huge.
Speaking through that network of people too, it made me think of, there's the groups of people that stretch us, that kind of are forward-thinking people, growth-minded people you want to have in your network. But then there are the...
This one's for Hunter directly.
Yeah.
Those people expand us.
Yeah, there you go. Expanding, expander people. We'll go with expander people. I don't know. That's the term. We'll come up with it. Anyway, the people that help you stretch and grow that vision. Then
growth-minded people.
Then there's the huddle group of people that are just like hangout people, maybe is a better word. Like it's just, hey,
they will tread water with
life.
you.
Yeah. And then there's the people that we're supposed to uplift and bring along. And I think there's times we'll sometimes look at this group over here and it's like, yeah, but I don't know how.
That's not at all where I thought you were going with that.
Well, that's fine. That's where my brain is going.
I was thinking the anchor people, the people that
drag you down,
have an anchor and drag you down.
Yeah.
That's where I thought he was going.
But those I wasn't going to take it to the negative aspect. Those are the people that we need to help along the way. But you can't just spend all of your time in that group. Nor can I spend all of my time just in the hangout huddle group. I have to have associations in multiple areas.
What's that phrase? You want to be the dumbest person in the room?
Yeah.
Because if you hang out with 5 millionaires, you're going to be
That's right. Yeah.
the next millionaire.
And I I have been in some very successful rooms where I definitely am the dumbest person in the room. And I still wonder, I'm like, how did I even get into that room? But God has planted me there. And to your point, some people are just naturally gifted with things that God has given to them. And they use it for that. But then there's also the opposite of that. God has gifted people with a lot of talent and gifts and belief, and they don't use it. And they just waste it. And that is a piece, I think, for the two of us. We don't want to get to heaven and stand in front of God, and he says, what did you do with your one gift that I gave you? And we have to look back and be like, well, I just stayed at home, hung out and had the same barbecues or same bonfires. Like,
could you imagine getting to heaven and God asking us, why didn't you start a podcast?
Yeah.
And then you saying, well,
just didn't feel like it.
Didn't feel like it.
I was busy.
I was busy.
Yeah. And I think...
Would that be busy or a busyness?
Yeah.
I had a busyness about my life.
And I was thinking, we hear from people that have large families, or maybe even small families, or maybe no families, no kids at all. That I'm so bogged down with things. We have 5 kids, and we still can carve out time. And people are like, I don't know how you have time to do all this. Where do you get your bandwidth from, for this? Which I know is kind of segueing into our next part of this episode, which we'll talk more about. But I also think that it's a critical piece. People can use that as a crutch.
Yeah.
Or, well, I can't do that because my kids have XYZ sports. Or I want them to be involved in this. We have business partners of ours that their kids didn't do any sports growing up. And they built something, they invested into their family, invested into their future, and were able to, in the latter part of their childhood, to really pour into their sports. And their kids now have surpassed all of those that have been doing sports forever, competitively or not competitively.
Well, yeah.
And it's that being able to invest time and resources into them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know where that came from, but we're going to run with it. So, yeah. But comparison, anything else in comparison for you that comes to mind?
No.
Delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification. That goes back to what we were talking about, though, effort and reward. We think that it ought to be, I put in 10 hours of effort, I should get 100 units of reward.
Yeah.
And it doesn't equate like that. And so I think it's just really important. We really wanted to take this episode and make you think about areas in which you can miss the blessing because you have blinders on. So, and in the next episode, we're going to lay out how we took our blinders off.
Yeah. But I think also walking into it with, again, we've talked about this before, having our hands open. Like not one closed and one open. I'm guilty of that. Or some people just...
you can't do this motion anymore without
whatever,
6, 7.
And it means literally nothing. So whatever. I'm going to do whatever I need to because I'm an 80s kid, 80s, 90s kid, whatever you want to call me. I don't know. But it's the... See, you made me lose my train of thought. Now I'm...
Having your hands open.
Yes, thank you. So I want to walk through life being receptive and in communication, in alignment with God, but with my hands open and saying, God, I am here, use me. And I wish more people honestly would go around as they go through their day thinking that motto of who is it that the person opposite of you knows that you need to know, and who is it that you know that they need to know. Like, I think if we walk through life with that mindset, things would look differently. Conversations would look differently. We wouldn't get so frustrated. And I know there's all the political this and political that's irrelevant. We all have the same red blood running through our bodies. Doesn't matter where you're from.
We all bleed the blood of Jesus Christ.
That's correct. And I think that is just more of that perspective that we need to harness. And a lot of that comes from seeking that time with God. Yeah. Whether it's in the morning, middle of the day, at night, while you're driving and you're playing worship music, it can look different to everybody. It doesn't have to be I'm physically opening a Bible and reading 1 Thessalonians, which I met a lady today who was reading out of Thessalonians. That's what popped in my head. But not everybody's doing that. But some people are during their day.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Anything in closing for them?
No,
nothing.
Wow.
Well,
I already did my closing.
I think that kind of wrapped a bow on it. Again, just finding the time in your day to spend time with God, having those blinders, setting the boundaries like you said.
Think about areas in which you could really, this is my challenge.
You said you were done.
Yeah. Then you let me think a little bit longer.
Okay.
Think about, my challenge to you is to think about ways in which you maybe can miss the blessing for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
These are ways in which Brian and I have missed the blessing. And so I want you to think about those things over the course of the next week before our next episode drops.
Yeah. And there's probably a lot more things that I've missed the blessing on that I could add even more to this list.
Oh, absolutely.
That's for another day, another time. But no, it is. I think just keeping in the Word, keeping consistent with your time with God, and just trying to not miss the things that are in front of you.
Yeah.
From time to time we will miss them. That's okay. God's a sovereign God, and He will help us right those wrongs if we make some.
Yep.
So until next time, thank you so much for joining us on an episode of Crazy Unbelievable Faith. Have a great day.